Okay, we are good here. Let me check the feeds, as I say every single night. Let me check the feeds. Good. There's that. Looks like people are jumping on. Wonderful. Yes, here they come. Here comes everybody. Here comes Queens, New York, Boston, New York, Kentucky. Hello, everybody. Hi, Minnesota. Texas, Tennessee, Chicago, Cleveland, Richmond, Michigan, Ohio. Lots of Ohio. I love it. Excellent. Daytona, Buffalo, upstate New York, Modesto, California. Wonderful. Everyone's jumping on. Okay, as I jump on, I'm going to first tell you, everybody, tonight that yes, there is a mono and a stereo audio issue that is getting fixed. I am working on it, so don't worry. But tonight, yes, you might have to listen. If you're listening on earpieces, it might come from one until I get that fixed. It is a software thing, which I'll figure out. But I'm staying with the software because this is something I have to get comfortable with. So I'm going to be on this, and we'll make it work. So don't worry. It's coming. It's coming quickly. New Jersey, hello. Orlando, hello. Excellent. So that is my disclaimer. Yes, the audio is off. Probably, again, it's stereo in one ear, mono in the other. I understand. And if it's just one ear, we'll fix it. Don't worry. But I got to stay with the software because it works really well. And this is going to be the new standard so I can play with stuff. So, welcome to the Revolution Network. This is Dr. Jason Dean, your source for health, freedom, and knowledge. And tonight, we're going to talk about basically one topic. That one topic is vaccines. So today, it got crazy. And I need everyone to mostly relax. Stop worrying. Stop stressing. This is going to be handled. Keep calm. Now, what I'm going to do is we're going to jump into this, and I'm going to take you through what the president said today. And this is what everyone's freaking out about, is his interview with Maria. Okay, Maria, I think her name is Bartoloma. I believe that's her name. Who is a news anchor, Fox Business News anchor. I'm going to take you to the video, and we're going to go through some of this. And then I'm going to show you guys some resources to start researching and why we're going to talk about that, okay? So let's dive in if everyone is ready. Are you ready to learn some things about, obviously, vaccines, but also why this is happening the way it's most likely happening? So let's jump in. Sound good? Okay, let's go. All right. Here is Maria. So I'm going to play the audio, and I will skip ahead if we need to. This is about a 5-minute long video, and we may go through the whole video, so my apologies if you've seen this, but I want to narrate you through it, okay? So here we go, and I'll stop it if I need a comment.
Where the White House is in corporate America, where every time you go to work, you just get your temperature taken, you get a test. Is that where we're going?
You don't want to be doing that. Look, we want to go back to...
So no, we don't, and I'm going to comment through this. We don't need to go to a time where we are getting checked at every checkpoint, and the president's going to talk about that.
Like you want to see a baseball game, or you want to see a basketball or football, you want to walk into a stadium. I went to the Alabama LSU game last year. They had 110,000 people in the stadium. I don't want to see 25,000 people where you have empty seats all over the place because of distancing.
When do you think we could get back to that, Mr. President?
How long is this going to take
to get back to normalcy?
Yeah, I think we're going to have a...
Okay, we're diving into the vaccines, okay? This is the issue. We're diving into the vaccines. Here we go.
Vaccine by the end of the year. We're doing very well with the vaccine. And I will tell you something. I just literally left a meeting. We're mobilizing our military and other forces, but we're mobilizing our military on the basis that we do have a vaccine. You know, it's a massive job to give this vaccine. Our military is now being mobilized. So
Okay, The military is being mobilized. We already know the military is being mobilized, okay? So stop panicking. Now, if you read and actually go to the Pentagon website, they're talking about ordering 100 million vaccines, okay? Mike Adams did an article the other day on vaccines and saying that they're going to order 300 million for the entire population. That was actually completely false advertising and a false article. The actual Pentagon shows that they're getting 100 million, and keep in mind 150 million plus get the flu vaccine every year. So 100 million is actually less than what they ordered for this one.
At the end of the year, we're going to be able to give it to a lot of people very, very rapidly.
A lot of people. That doesn't mean everybody. It means a lot of people.
And you're just doing something with syringes as well, so that you can have it plentiful.
That's
You
right.
have enough vaccine.
We will have the tremendous force, because assuming we get it, then you have to distribute it.
Right.
And unless you're mobilized and ready, you're not going to be able to do it for a long time.
Now, keep in mind, they're going to have this obviously because it's not like you're going to go to your local Walgreens or primary care. This is a very different situation because it's considered a pandemic. So they obviously are going to launch it in a very different way than they would launch the flu vaccine. That's what he's talking about.
So we're starting now. We're of the assumption that by the end of the year, we're going to have a vaccine, and then we have to be able to give it, to use it on most of our population.
Yeah.
Now we'll focus on elderly. We're going to
Now, when he said most of the population, so this is the best part. When he says most of the population, his eyes went to the left, meaning he's not telling the truth. His eyes shot to the left there. Let me see if I can roll that back a second.
the assumption that by the end of the year, we're going to have a vaccine, and then we have to be able to give it, to use it on most of our a long time.
Oh.
So we're starting now. We're of the assumption that a nursing home and
Oh, I messed that up. Anyway, did you see how he looked away when he said most of the population? That look at his eyes.
then you have to distribute it.
Right.
And unless you're mobilized and ready, you're not going to be able to do it for a long time. So we're starting now. We're of the assumption that by the end of the year, we're going to have a vaccine, and then we have to be able to give it, to use it on most of our population.
Yeah.
Now we'll focus on elderly. We're going to focus on nursing home and senior
No different than the flu shot. They focus on the elderly. They focus on the nursing homes.
citizen centers, because that's really, if you look at it, that is a very vulnerable group. It's a terrible thing, but so we're going to be focused on that. We're going to go
Can
with
you
the
divide
vaccine.
the country saying, okay, if you're below 50, you're healthy and strong, you're okay, go back to work. Elderly, divide them.
Well, we're doing that, and I'm actually saying, like with the schools, open the schools. But if a teacher is 60,
So if they're worried about this whole thing, he would not open the schools, or he'd not tell them to open the schools if he was worried about the entire population.
55 or older, especially if they have diabetes, if they have a bad heart, if they have a problem, we say relax for a longer period of time. But if you look, there's been very little damage done to people that are healthy and young and frankly medium-aged people. But the elderly have been decimated, absolutely.
Let me get back to getting us back to where.
Okay, so I'm going to stop there. I'm going to jump back up here on the screen real quick because, okay, so you listened. Now, keep in mind, there was two very different clips that went out today. That was the one I watched. A lot of people watched another one that was very cut and trimmed down that made it sound like something really, really horrible. Now, again, I actually went up and looked at the statistics. Approximately half of the population gets the flu shot every year. Mike Adams ran with an article on naturalnews.com. I think it was yesterday. I hated the article. I don't agree with how he's marketing right now and how he's selling stuff. But he said the Pentagon has ordered like 300 million vaccines for the 300 million or 200 million people in America, and this is what's going on. I actually clicked the link that he sourced to. The link took me to the Pentagon, and it was an actual military article that they have 100 million, right? So as I read through it, there was nothing about 300 million. There was nothing at all about that, and they were talking about the syringes that they needed. Okay, so then I immediately went and looked at the flu vaccine for every single year, and approximately half the country gets the flu vaccine every single year. So if the numbers are correct, and keep in mind, I am just researching and diving deep into the information that comes about. You cannot go by mainstream headlines and clips that they put up. That's why you have to watch the whole thing out. Now, I would not have watched that typically. I only watched it if it was on like Twitter or something like that and it was a clip. If I knew it was a longer clip. But I don't go and watch that on Fox News. I only knew about that because it blasted this morning. But only half the population gets the flu shot every year. They're saying they may only have 100 million. Now, if that changes, obviously we'll look into it and see what it was. But I found it very interesting that he looked the other way when he talked about the majority of the population. But then he also went in and he tweeted out that there would still be other therapies. So you have to understand optics. Now, a lot of people are going to overwhelm the page with comments on he's coming after us, it's mandatory vaccines. I'm going to get into more of that, but and we have to be prepared. Yes, there's two roads, as I always say. There could be the road where they start pushing this thing, mandatory vaccinations, and yes, we have to be ready for that possibly. Okay, I understand completely. But you do also have to understand the optics of what are going on. You can't panic. And a lot of people ask me, aren't you worried? I am not worried at all. I honestly have never been more calm in a situation that's this dire, probably in my life. I mean, I've had much, much lesser situations that were problems that I was much more panicked. And for the level of intensity of what could be coming out of this, if it goes down the bad road, I am completely, totally chilled and relaxed. There's a reason for that, and it's called research. And I'm going to take you into that afterwards. When you do your research, I talked about this a week or so ago. When you're prepared and ready, you don't panic. That's not what you do. Even if something goes bad, you're ready to go. You're ready to execute the plan. But remember, the president has to work with marketing, public relations, and optics. Okay? That's how politics works. The president of the United States has to get elected, whether he's a bad guy or a good guy. Doesn't matter what President Trump is, whether he's a bad guy and against us and he's a globalist, New World Order guy, or he's a great guy and he's going to help us get through all this. Either way, he has to get reelected, meaning the majority of this country, and trust me, I don't know about you guys, I'm with patients all day long, every single day. We have 5 or 6 associates at our practice who are with patients all day long, every single day. So not only do I hear my patients, I hear other patients in the office. And I will tell you, 99% of America, and I'm generalizing, I'm probably making that too high, but the majority of Americans are terrified still. They're finally coming out of their shells. And if you set up a vaccination tomorrow for this, they're going to go running for it. That's just the truth. It is what it is. We have to wake up more people. But that is the case right now. The majority are going to be running for this. We are the wake ones, okay? Now, there are more awakening every single day, and it's very possible that number is, now about 5 or 10%. The ones who are actually saying, no, I will not take a vaccination, that's absolutely unacceptable. But the majority are still ready to go, get in line for the shot. And guess what? I can't save all of them, personally. We need many people, and you're not going to save all of them. That is welcome to having a large population. Not everyone is going to survive, and I hate saying that. But unless they wake up, and if that vaccine is a problem and it's a death shot, there are going to be some people that get that, and you have to wrap your head around. I told you this was not going to be easy. This was not going to be an easy world to confront what's going to go down, whether it's good or bad. You have to be prepared. You have to be ready. But the president has optics. He has to get elected. If the president came out and was on our side tomorrow and said, vaccines are horrible, they're population control, it's going to kill everybody, they want to cull the population, they want to take you out, do you realize in a flip of a switch, he would immediately lose the election to anybody who ran against him? Because we still have a country that can't handle anything even close to what would be a conspiracy. There are people out there, the majority of the population, that they cannot comprehend that the government or entities are against us as human race. So you have to think about that. You have to remember that, okay? Okay, now, I also want to show you a couple things here because I think this is really important. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you President Trump's history. Now, everyone is panicking today because of what he said. However, how many of you have gone back into Twitter history and looked at what he was tweeting before he was ever even thinking about running for president, as far as we know? I'm going to go back to show you the website. This is actually somebody from Twitter compiled all of this, and I'm going to show you exactly the things he was saying. So let's dive in. Okay, so here we are. I'll give you guys a second. I'm already there. You guys will come in. Good. Excellent. So, right here are his tweets. Now, this is October 22nd, 2012. Autism rates through the roof. Why doesn't Obama administration do something about doctor-inflicted autism? We lose nothing to try. Okay? This is the stuff he was saying. And yes, it is very possible that Barron Trump is possibly slightly vaccine damaged. I don't know for sure. That's what I've heard. I've read that many places. I don't know anybody inside. But look at massive combined inoculations to small children is the cause for big increase in autism. This is what the president was saying August 23rd, 2012. All right? Shills insist autism starts in utero or genetic, but parents insist sudden onset after vaccine. September 6th, 2014. This is the stuff he was saying then. And they're all over the place. With autism being way up, what do we have to lose by having doctors give small dose vaccines versus big pump doses into those tiny bodies? Okay? Now, President Trump is not necessarily anti-vaccine. Some people are saying that. No, he's never said anti-vaccine. He's just said he would prefer it be done a different way so we're not harming children, okay? Look, healthy young child goes to doctor, gets pumped with massive shots of many vaccines, doesn't feel good and changes autism. Many such cases. You guys can't freak out about one video clip of what he's saying. You have to look at the large body of work over a period of time. And now some people are going to say, the pharmaceutical companies flipped him. He was against it until he was in there, and they turned him, yet he's going after Obama, and he called him for treason. You have to understand the optics, okay? Keep in mind, a lot of people did not like President Obama. He is very safe going after Obama. Remember, that rallies his base, right? The President Trump base, that's like red meat for him. Like, he loves that. They love that. So he can go after Obama all day long. But he goes after vaccines, it's still going to be a problem because the majority of people in America are still very pro vaccine. But as I go down here, look, autism way up. I believe in vaccinations, but not massive. All at one shot. Too much for small child to handle. Government should stop now. Look at what he's saying, okay? That was 2014. Oops, I did that again. Okay. If I were president, I would push for proper vaccinations, but would not allow one-time massive shots that a small child cannot take. Autism, okay? Let's see. I keep doing that, so I don't know why that's happening. Kim Stagliano, when will New York Times write about vaccine damage and its price? 3 girls with autism here, Mr. Trump. They should, Kim. Like, he's actually talking. This was in 2013. Now, you think there's only a few. I scroll down. There's actually many. There's videos. I don't even know what these videos show. Let's play them.
Okay. I've tried all day long to break it down, and this is what it breaks down to. My son is 6 years old. At 15 months, he was over-vaccinated. One of the vaccinations was MMR. The next day, he was not himself. And he has not been himself since that day. Since that day, this is what we've had to do, which is everything possible a doctor has recommended. 5 specialists. That's his life. That's our life. Because of autism. And vaccinations. Hear that.
Do you really think the president is going to tweet something like that out and then go back on his word? Now, a lot of you are going to say he's a great salesman. I get it. That video gives me shivers just listening to, because I see that on a weekly basis in the office. I see those exact moms right there with that exact thing. So when you hammer against it, and again, I'm not defending the President of the United States. It is possible, yes, that he is turning his back on us. Yes, you have to consider that. I'm not saying you don't. But you also have to look at the massive body of work, and I don't truly believe that's what he's doing. Look, Eric's story breaks my heart. Vaccines destroyed his family. That's our president right now back in 2014. I'll play this.
Hi, my name is Eric. I'm a single father raising a 15-year-old severely autistic, nonverbal teenage daughter, all on my own. She was born normal. When she was 15 months old, she received a round of vaccines that included the MMR and the DTaP. She developed a high fever, held the fever for a week. When the fever broke, she lost everything. Her early speech, the desire to be touched, eye contact, everything. And we knew something was immediately wrong. It took a few months later before we got the diagnosis of autism. And I remember the month very well. It was January of 2000. What made it worse was, within 3 weeks, Miranda, my daughter, shed the measles virus, and her mom caught it. We know this because we found the titers in her brain and spinal fluid. She had a massive flare-up. She must have been immune compromised to begin with, but it triggered MS, and now, years later, she's in a nursing home. So, vaccines destroyed my family. Vaccines do cause autism. Some people maybe don't hear this too well, but vaccines do cause autism.
So the President of the United States in 2014 was tweeting that out, okay? And it's a long list. Like the president even pushed out an article from, at the time, Natural News back in 2013, when Mike wasn't pushing a lot of fear porn like he is today. He even knows about the vaccine court, okay? He even knows about that. So you have to look at this in real time and understand what's possible, okay? So, again, you're seeing his words, and again, yes, I understand it can go either way. He could put that stuff out, but I will tell you, somebody posted this, is typically someone doesn't go down the vaccine rabbit hole, they don't come back out. Meaning, if he knows something, that's really hard to then flip on and go and push something like this. So I don't think, for many reasons on top of this, but looking at all that information, I don't think that's his plan. I think he's playing an amazing game of chess. Okay, the next one I'm going to go, and I'm kind of changing my order up tonight because as I go in my mind, it's changing, and I want to show you a couple of things before I dive into research, and I'm going to tell you why I'm diving into research for you tonight and why I focused on this today, because this topic is why you must research everything, not just to save our country, but to save our kids, because autism is like 1 in 36 right now, children. And at the rate we're going with the pharmaceutical industry the way it is, it's going down to 1 in 2. You have to do research. You cannot go and listen to media clips. You can't go and look at headlines. You actually have to dive deep into the actual research, and you have to go after it to find out for yourself. So I'm going to show you this one last thing regarding President Trump and vaccines and the Anons, and then I'm going to dive into some stuff you probably haven't seen before. So if you, and I don't even think Dr. Tenpenny has some of this information. She knows about it, but I have it in a really cool spreadsheet that I'm going to show you tonight, and we will get this passed out to you so you have it as your weapons of knowledge, okay? So let's first dive into the actual Twitter feed. I really want people to know about that, and we'll get that up, okay? So let's go here. Oops. Okay. Let's go over to here, and I'm going to make sure this comes up for you. So this one is actually an Anon, and I'm going to play this for you as soon as it's up for you. Here we go. It's about 2 minutes. Actually, hold on, wrong one. Let me go to the correct one. That is not, I picked up the wrong one. Look at that. Let's see. He had an earlier one. This is the one I want.
Hey, don't, put... Some people make comments like, hey, don't, put... they're kind of kidding, but don't put the plan out there for the bad guys to see it. Well, so I thought it'd be fun to pass along something my dad told me.
Actually, this is the wrong one, but we'll watch it anyway.
War Games days, plus the real thing. One of his presidential medals that he and his team earned, at least one of them was directly Cold War related. And he would talk to me about how our intel teams and the enemy's intel teams, what they were trying to do was saturate the information processing bandwidth of the other team. Each team knew what the main objectives were of the enemy, and they would necessarily have to execute operations, real operations, to try to accomplish some objective. But they would also run counter operations and false operations so that all of that would create chatter and crazy stuff for the enemy to have to try to parse through and figure out what was real and what was not during ops. And the goal was, as I said, information bandwidth saturation. So if it was going to take you, 3-4 days to run some serious ops, you would try to throw so much at them during those 3 to 4 days that it's a week or two later by the time they even figure out what chatter was real and what chatter was fake. Too late for them to interfere with your op. So just think about that.
Okay, that was not the one I thought it was, but I figured we'd watch it anyway because we were already into it. Let me go to the one he actually talked about. You see Bill Gates right there. Okay, this might be the one. Here it is. Okay, good. Here we go.
I'm getting so many messages about Trump's comments on vaccine. I just felt like making a statement, at least just to be clear on where I'm at. I think you have to be very careful to look at all of Trump's behavior in context. He has been on the record for years with across the board, mostly negative comments about vaccines. And I think that is what he really believes. He knows vaccine science is real, just like I do and hopefully you do, but he doesn't trust the people that are controlling vaccines for profit and are putting contaminants in them and covering up bad results, bad studies. Okay, I fully believe, you can say, well, I might be wrong, but I fully believe that Trump is running one of the biggest confidence games of his presidency to lull in people like Gates and the World Health Organization, the CDC, the FDA, people that have abused the trust of the public on vaccines, and he is running a giant sting or a project to expose them. I believe he appears to be going along now because of optics and the media, and the media will make him look like a crazy anti-vaxxer if he shares what he really feels. So he is going to give them some rope, and they're going to I can't say things that Twitter will ban me for. Okay. He'll give them some rope. Trust Trump and believe he is up to something good.
Okay. So, I think you got the idea there is we have to be vigilant and we always have to be protecting ourselves. And yes, I agree. We have to be aware that anything could happen. And yes, he could be going down the road of where he wants to do mandatory vaccinations, and it could be all right. You guys could be totally right, and this could be the worst thing in the world, and he's going after it, and we're going to have to fight in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months. Or we could have hope and faith that that is what's happening. The fact that maybe this is a giant sting operation. Maybe he's setting them up. Maybe this is all part of the plan to take down the deep state. And quite honestly, I have tried to put energy into the other one, and it's exhausting. It is so much more rewarding to put energy into this idea and at the same time constantly be prepared and know that something could happen and I have to change and pivot and I have to go into defense mode. But if I'm going to stay in defense mode at all times, you guys are going to be completely exhausted every single day. You can't go that route. That route doesn't work. It's exhausting, and it will wear you out. It is much easier to go down the truth and positive road, but then be in defense mode if necessary, and just know that anything can change and we might have to pivot. That is so much easier to do, and it also makes your life much smoother. Okay, so I want you to know that. Now, I'm going to show you some really cool stuff right now that you're probably going to see and you're all going to want, and we will get that to you. And I'm going to plug my really good friend who created this, who is an amazing individual. But let's jump over to that, okay? All right, let's bring this up. All right, let me get here and make sure you guys are seeing this same thing. This is a vaccine manufacturing sheet. All right, so let me know if you're seeing this properly. It looks like you are on my side. This was created by a friend of mine, Gerald Release, who is a former pharmaceutical salesman. He is going to be on in probably about 2 weeks. He is amazing, okay? Absolutely amazing. Now, before I show you this is the guy who wrote it, okay? His name, again, Gerald Release. Okay, I'll click on this real quick so you can see what it looks like. He wrote this book. I believe he has another one coming out. It's called The Pharmaceutical Myth. And again, he is absolutely amazing individual, Gerald Release, okay? But let's go back to the actual sheet. Now, this tells you information. The reason I brought this up was because if you want to stop panicking about the vaccine stuff, you will quickly realize that you need to study more, and I've been telling you this. The way to keep yourself calm is to study and get knowledge on what is actually occurring so that ultimately you're prepared. When you're prepared, you panic less, right? So when I have people panicking over vaccines, I typically find, even if you've researched it, trust me, I still research almost daily, definitely weekly, on what's going on with vaccines. I never have stopped, just like Dr. Tenpenny has never stopped. She has 40,000 hours and she's still going. So if you've looked for a week and you go, okay, well, I see that there's bad ingredients. No. Keep going. The more you research and the more you know, the more prepared and the more calm you get. So even when the president makes comments that seem really off base, then you're like, okay, that's what he's thinking. That's what he might do. Let's hope for the best, but let's go. So this is Hep B. Okay, now these are highlighted. So Hep B, rotavirus, DTaP, the Hemophilia B vaccine, pneumococcal vaccine, polio, influenza, MMR. These are some of the basic ones, okay? And there's 2 pages to this. This is the other one, which we'll go through in a second. But this breaks down for you some of the ingredients. Not all of them, but some of the ingredients, okay? The yellow highlight are food proteins. So egg, casein, gelatin, albumin, soy, yeast, peanut. Heavy metals, aluminum, mercury, or thimerosal, bromide. Chemicals are MSG, monosodium glutamate, formalin, formaldehyde, glutaraldehyde, etc. Antibiotics, neomycin, streptomycin, kanamycin. Tissue antigens, fetal DNA, blood serum, blood proteins. Okay, the concern under food proteins, you have IgE stimulation. Welcome to food allergies. Why are there food allergies? There are no such thing as food allergies. Vaccines trigger food allergies. IgE stimulation. Heavy metals and chemicals go right to the organ and tissue toxicity. They destroy the brain. And yes, I know people are asking me, can I have the sheet? Can I have the sheet? Yes, we will. My buddy has told me, go ahead, we'll get this out there. And he's also going to be on the show again, probably in a couple weeks. I'll have him so you guys can hear directly from him. But yes, I'm going to send this out in email, okay? So you guys will all have access to this. And this is literally not only a study sheet, this is how you help new parents or parents who are not awake yet to help them, okay? This opens their eyes to what is actually going on. So we go down to antibiotics. Affect the kidney, they affect the ears. Okay, how many kids have ear problems, have ear infections, and they get tubes in their ears? It's the vaccines. Also destroys the nervous system. The tissue antigens go to blood health and autoimmune. Just so you know, autoimmune problems are caused mostly by vaccines. I'd probably say like 99% is vaccine related. Okay, so this is all his research. Not all of it, but this is how he put it into an easy to basically handle study sheet. Okay, he's an amazing individual. I love this guy. Like I talked to him, and we're gonna probably put on some seminars and some really cool trainings for everybody. But as you go through, he goes through all the ingredients and shows you how it highlights up here and it goes down to here, okay? So you have your oranges, your yellows, your greens, your blues, and goes through all of these different things. And it doesn't mean that the other stuff is okay. He's just pointing out the adjuvants, okay? These adjuvants cause different things. These are what vaccines are doing to people. I'm going to scroll down. Now, communicable diseases or disease epidemics declined not because of vaccines. They declined because of improved nutrition, improved sanitation, improved access to clean water, proper childcare, and less stressful work conditions. That's what eradicated diseases, not the vaccine. Okay? Choose safer vaccines to lower risk for vaccine injuries. So even with the quote-unquote anti-vaxxers, which, as you know, we don't like that term necessarily, I'm of the opinion that if you want to get a vaccine, that is entirely your right and freedom to get a vaccine. Now, obviously, I don't want anyone to get them personally, as my opinion, but what we want is we want health and medical freedom if someone wants to. But however, if you do this correctly, people really don't want it if they read stuff, okay? So how do you do it? Select vaccines without neurotoxic, nephrotoxic or ototoxic ingredients, so kidney, ear, neuro, all right? You can also have homeoprophylaxis. Homeoprophylaxis is homeopathic vaccines, which is very safe. You can select vaccines without heavy metals, without food proteins, without animal or human DNA, obviously. So yes, there is human aborted fetal cells in vaccines, all right? Just so you know. Now, I'm not going to go through all of these, but I do want to show you the different books. So, Dissolving Illusions by Suzanne Humphries, and I believe these actually click open to, whoops, I don't want to do that. So, I'll show you her book, but it clicks off of the actual page. I have to go back to it. Okay, good. There we go. Let me blow that back up. Good. Okay. So, Dissolving Illusions, the peanut allergy epidemic, A Shot in the Dark, vaccine epidemic, etc., Age of Autism, they're all here. Documentaries, Vaxxed and now Vaxxed 2, The Truth About Vaccines, Vaccines Revealed, Bought. They're all great, great things. Now down here, online resources. Learn the risk. Okay, so let me see if I can click on this. I don't know if I can or not. I can, yes. Okay, learn the risk. So this pops right up to the websites. All right, these are important places to go. Okay, these tell you a lot of different things. You click on the links, it takes you right over to them, okay? Wonderful. Very, very huge, important stuff, all right? So that kicks over to there. You have all your NVIC, VaxTruth, vaccines, Mercola, tracking vaccinations, parents sharing stories, so they even have all these. They have different groups, and obviously Facebook, which these ones have blown up since he had these on here, okay? So very, very important. Now I'm going to take you to a couple different things that I want to show you. Websites. NVIC, all right? NVIC, and sorry I'm keeping it on the website so much, but I want you guys to get this information, and I think it's more important than my face right now. So I hope you're enjoying this. We'll get this all this information over to you, okay? NVIC, okay, is Barbara Loe Fisher. Now, I'm not going to go through this whole thing, but keep in mind, there's laws and policies you can follow, both federal and state. All right, this is kept very up to date. News and events, resources. I don't even know what happens when you click on resources, but yes, all good stuff right here. Okay, I'm not going to go through it all, but I'm going to go back here and I'm going to show you. This is something very, very important. If you go down here to the middle, there's state vaccine law. I'm right here. I click on state vaccine law. Vaccine laws and exemptions in your state. You click here. So one of the biggest things people ask me is, well, my kid has to have vaccines to go to school. Well, unless you're in California, that is incorrect. You scroll down and you see the map of the U.S. Okay, now, California still has a very, very basic medical, but it's not real anymore. Okay, so there's different ones. Philosophical, religious, medical. It is not mandatory. It is not required for you to have a vaccine for your kids to go to school. That is not true, all right? I'm going to show you through my state, for example, what you do. Now, my daughter's homeschooled, so this doesn't necessarily apply to us, even though we have to fill out a stupid vaccine requirement, okay? We have medical and religious. So if I click on this, this brings me open to this, okay? Now, Florida state vaccine requirements. Every state's going to be a little different. If I scroll down, it gives me quick facts, other resources, K through 12 general information, higher ed, daycare information, other states, all this different stuff, okay? Now, for me, if I was going to look through this, I would go, okay, what are the requirements? And then what are the exemption information? Right here is exemption information, okay? So I would click on that. Opens up to another page. Here is Florida exemption information, okay? So I would actually download this information. Now this doesn't allow me to do it because I've been on it before, but you can go in here. It's form DH681. So if I actually click on that and I just go in, and yes, I do use Google sometimes, but I actually have this protected by a VPN. So forms DH681 right here. I click on that. And oh, it brought me right back. Never mind. Sorry, I'm trying to find the PDF. Here you go. Let's see. Florida Department of Health 680. I think that's it. And this is just the thing, but you can actually go. It will take you to the link for form DH681. It used to be on here. It changed a little bit since I last looked, but okay. Here you go. So get the form. And then it pops open. Okay, so this would be my form in Florida. And you see how this works. So I scroll down, and you have to go through and show it all, but then there's an exemption part you actually sign, okay? So that's what that is. That's the certificate of immunization. They have another form 681 that actually allows you to, okay, so where am I here? Okay, that actually allows you to do other things. So I'll click back to that, we'll get off, okay? So this is the exemption form 681. So that's kind of how that works. I'm not going to go through it all tonight, but if you have a different state, right here, if I'm going to go to, for example, I'm going to go to I don't want to go to New York because New York is weird. Let me go to Texas. It has all 3. I have no idea what this is going to look like, so I'm kind of playing with it as I go. Facts, resources. Okay, so you have your K through 12 exemption and waiver right there. You open that up. There you go. Like, dang, Texas hands it right to you. Like, that's beautiful. You literally jump right in, you fill it out, and you're done. Like, that's pretty impressive, actually. And it's actually online too. You can actually type into it if you want to. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Awesome. Now, 2 more I want to show you really quick. Vaxxter, okay? Vaxxter is Dr. Sherry Tenpenny's information and website. Goes to this so you can research, you can study, all this good stuff, okay? This is very, very important, and she goes into other things as well. All right? So I just wanted to show you that really quick. It's nothing super crazy, but I just want to show you it's here. This is all information you guys can go look at, okay? It's very important. Okay? If you want people to understand what is going on, then you have to actually enlighten them, but you can't enlighten them unless you help them understand, okay? Good. I hope that helps. I hope that gave you some more information, and I hope that showed you exactly how we study this information. The more you dive into this and the more you understand and the more you know your rights, the less you will be worried, the less you will be concerned, the less you will be scared, the easier this makes your life, okay? So, as we go forward, I want you to keep in mind, 1, stop listening to the mainstream media. They are there to keep you in constant fear. They are there to keep you worried. I will put all these links in after I'm done. It's hard for me to do it while I'm on this because the live feed doesn't quite let me. But I will push this all over to you. We'll get all this links. I will also email those links out to you. A lot of people say, okay, well, I'm not getting emails. I'm not swarming you guys with emails completely yet. Okay, that will be coming up. But right now, there's a lot of other stuff going on behind the scenes. But I will get this over to you. I will send the links out to you so you know where those are. I will attach the PDF that I just showed you from Gerald on there as well so that you can have that and be properly prepared for the whole thing. And you'll be ready. Okay? But keep in mind going forward, again, this was to teach you how to dive deep in the research, and that wasn't even super deep. It just gives you some ideas on where to go, where to find things, so then you can go to the other sites, other places, and there's just tons and tons of resources and information. So that no matter what, whether the president is working for us or against us, we are prepared, meaning you have to know your rights. You have to know some of your constitution. You have to know some of your health and privacy rights. And you also better know where attorneys are. Because this is the stuff if this does go south, you're going to have to know what to do. You're going to have to know where your people are. Get your tribes together, your physical tribes. Keep in mind, like, we love our tribe here. We love talking. We love communicating. We love educating. But this is a digital tribe right now, right? If social media goes off right now, I only have potential email connection with some of you. All right, I don't even have. I mean, I have 50,000 plus people following on all the different pages, and we're at like 1 million downloads for the show overall. But I don't have access to every one of those 1 million people. I wish I did. Trust me, I wish I did. So you're going to have your local tribe as well to be able to help you and stay in, close contact with. Because if it does go down the way we don't want it to go down, you must be ready and prepared. But the more information you put in your mind until when that happens, the more relaxed and ready for survival you would need. And then when people get ready, when people are in preparation mode and they're ready to survive, guess what happens? Nothing bad. Just like why you put money in savings. As you build that up over a period of time and you successfully do that, you don't have those emergency bills happen. You don't have those crazy things happen. You're prepared, and then good things happen to you, and then you usually make more money. Maybe we'll have a better world out of this. And we won't have to worry about the mandatory vaccine. We won't have to worry about all this chaos going on. We'll be ready. I hope that helps you guys. Do me a favor, if you have any questions, I'll take a couple questions right now, and then I'm going to go rest my body and voice. And while I'm waiting for those questions, I would like to thank Dr. Cordy Williams, the Megaphone Vet, Megaphone Marine, who sent me this amazing shirt, 1776 Forever Free. I truly appreciate it, sir. I thank you a million. It's a fantastic shirt. It's very, very soft and comfortable. I truly, truly appreciate it. You are a patriot and a warrior, and I will wear this with pride. This is his group. Go out on Facebook and find 1776 Forever Free. He was also on OAN Network, so go look that up as well. Let's check the questions and get three. I'll take 2 or 3 questions, and then we will head off for the night, and you guys will get some sleep as well. Did I see Twitter about Dr. Buttar being controlled opposition? Dr. Buttar is not controlled opposition. I can't imagine that. He is tied to too many good people that I know. I would be shocked if he was controlled opposition. No. Who said that Dr. Buttar was controlled opposition? Like, who did that come from? I'd like to know, because I've been listening to him for a very long time, and he is good friends with Robert Scott Bell, and I think Robert would be shocked if he heard something like that as well. Good. Let's see. Tell us again where I buy my shirts. I buy my shirts from all over the place. Go on and just look up Patriot type shirts, and you'll find a whole bunch of stuff. 2 more questions. 2 more questions. You can ask. We'll answer as many as possible, but 2 more that I'll answer right now. Am I coming to the Sacramento rally May 23rd? I am currently keeping my travel plans quiet and secret. I will say that. Okay? That's what I'll say. That wasn't a question. I was just letting you know. Yes, I saw where Gates was halted by the FDA. How can they mandate masks outside? Welcome to California, where they apparently can do everything. Good. Yeah, no way Dr. Buttar is controlled opposition. Dr. Shiva said Dr. Buttar was... Give me a friggin' break. Okay. I'm going to give you one line on this. I got to be careful how I say this stuff. Dr. Buttar is... Dr. Buttar, I never want to say isn't, because I can't say 100% because I don't know him personally. 99.9% chance Dr. Buttar is not controlled opposition, and if whoever said that, whether it was Dr. Shiva or somebody else, whoever said that, it is completely irresponsible to say stuff like that. And that's probably because he's tied to RFK Jr. and all this stuff. So does that mean that also Dr. Tenpenny is controlled opposition? Because she's also hanging with that crew. And let me tell you, Dr. Tenpenny is not controlled opposition. Does that mean that Dr. Mikovits is controlled opposition? Probably not, or she wouldn't be doing what she's doing, I can tell you that much. That would mean Ty and Charlene Bollinger are controlled opposition, which I highly doubt that's possible. So be careful where you get your resources from. That's all I can say. I do not, even if Dr. Shiva is the nicest person on the face of the planet, the way he goes about some things, I don't know. I just wouldn't do that. But that's me. I want to build the biggest natural health tribe on the face of the planet with your guys' help. I will be completely honest with you on that. I want to do that. I want to create a giant movement that helps the world get better. It will be monetized, but not to sell you stuff and trash you don't need, but to actually train you, to educate you, to give you good products, and it will make a ton of money for good things. Money will go to charity, to human rights, to underground railroad places to help human that's what this should be for. And so I hope this grows to gigantic amounts, but never once do I want to use this platform to take to the airwaves every night and bash the hell out of people, because that's not what this is about. I respect the education and knowledge that Dr. Shiva has, and he may very well be a great person. I don't know him well enough, but I don't think that you need to bash people to gain your following. Because if that's how it works, one, karma's not on your side. It's not a very spiritual thing to do. And if you build a fake foundation that foundation will not survive the amount of people on top of it when it grows to a size, and you'll lose the entire thing. That's how that works. That for anybody, I don't care if it's a Shiva or anybody else, anybody who builds it like that, it's going to collapse on you. So, just not a way to go. One question left, everybody. One question, and then I'm headed out. I appreciate that, Adina. Let's see. I have to remember that my voice is a little behind you guys, so when I ask you a question, you're probably about 5 to 10 seconds behind, maybe. Okay, one last question, everybody. Who gets the next question? Contact tracers, that's not a question. But by the way, I'm going to dive deeper into HR 6666. I don't think there's any chance that passes on contract tracing alone. But I'll go into that a different day. I was sidelined by vaccines today, and I had to get this out. Okay. What can federal do about governors? I don't know all the legal aspects of that. I will tell you that the states are supposed to operate themselves, but I don't know how much power the president has over. But the whole point is the president's not supposed to bypass the states. That's constitutional. That's via constitutional laws. I saw the HCQ is considered a vaccine. I mean, I know that's how it was written. I don't know that really means that. Okay, good. Last question. Yes, this is the last question. Did I get in touch with Sam from Andrew? Yes. Sam, guys, next Tuesday. Okay, let me do a promo. This is the final. Ready? Last Tuesday, I was in touch with a crypto expert 2 days ago. Amazing gentleman. He actually was messaging me back and forth. Really great communication. Interviews always go really well when a person is communicating with me really rapidly and really fast. He is on the books for Tuesday next week at 2 o'clock. We are going to go diving deep into the basics of Crypto 101 on next Tuesday at 2 o'clock. Let me line up for you. I have to go look at it now. Let me line up for you what next week looks like. Actually starting tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow afternoon, I have... hold on a second. I have tomorrow afternoon Deanna Lorraine, who ran for Congress against Nancy Pelosi in San Francisco. She is going to be on tomorrow at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So I have her. She is working to take down Nancy Pelosi out of San Francisco, so she'll be on tomorrow. She has agreed. Now, this weekend, I will most likely be on the Cairo Hustle podcast with a very good friend, amazing individual, Jim Chester, who is a just raving, amazing, passionate lunatic in a good way for chiropractic. I will be on with him probably on Saturday, so we'll share that out so you guys can see all that cool stuff. You'll learn more about my chiropractic side. Jim Chester is an absolute treasure to the profession. And then I have, so Sam Dodson is Tuesday for crypto. On Wednesday, we have Ken Rollaback, who Ken is going to talk more about Scalar, 5G, as well as how to handle the viruses, and he's going to break down what happened with COVID-19 and how the virus actually worked. He's on Wednesday. Thursday, so this is where it gets interesting. Thursday, who do I have Thursday? Oh, Thursday, I have Lauren Boebert from Colorado running for Congress. She will be on Thursday, so that's really huge. And then on Friday, I am trying to figure out who this is on Friday. I have a Friday interview as well, and I have to go look that up because that name is not ringing a bell. But we have an interview on every single day at 2 o'clock from Tuesday on next week to Friday, and we're going to be doing lives at 9:30. So you guys are getting double doses basically every single day next week to get you super involved with everything that's going down. So I am really, really excited. This is going to be a blast. And I have somebody on my interview schedule right now that I don't fully understand who it is, and I have to go look it up. But I'm pretty excited. So, guys, it's going to be a busy one, bringing you tons of information. I'm going to go post all this stuff in the websites. And by the way, If you guys want somebody on to interview, you just need to reach out to me and let me know. I have somebody who's in the Libertarian Party in Chicago. Hopefully is going to be on soon. I just started working on that today. We have many other people on the chart. So it's all happening. Also, I'm working on, it's not confirmed yet, but I'm going to be working on Sasha Stone. So be prepared for that. If you don't know who Sasha Stone is, for someone who I don't even know and have never met, he is one of my favorite people on the planet. Go watch his YouTube videos. Sasha Stone is going to talk about 5G. We'll talk about debt, Jubilee, and global reset. He is an amazing individual, and he'll be on. So, again, I ran past an hour, which I was trying not to do, but I get so fired up talking to you guys that I just keep rambling on. I hope it's not too much rambling. I hope you're gaining value from it. I hope we're helping you so that we can take our country back again, help the UK take their place back, another suppressed area, help Canada get their country back, help China get their country back. This is what we're going after. We're going to take all these countries back, and we're going to take the planet back. I will be happy to interview Graham Allen. I have to get in contact with them. Sometimes, if you have a connection to them, it might be faster to get them over to me than it is me to go directly to them because they have filters. But I am happy to talk to anybody. You guys have an amazing evening. My body's ready to go sleep and shut it down. I'm going to go on Twitter for a little bit and then have an amazing night. Take good care of yourself. Dr. Jason Dean, Revolution Network, signing off. Let's win our country and our world back. God bless all of you. You're